A very good evening to everyone present here. It is indeed a matter of immense pride and joy to welcome you all to the 151st online interactive session, which is also the 120th Leadership Development Program by a Corporate Mentor, organized by Delhi School of Professional Studies and Research, DSPSR. I extend my heartfelt greetings to our esteemed honorable guest speaker for the day, Mr. Shubham Parashar, sir. Honorable Senior Professor Ajay Kumar Singh, sir. Honorable Director of the College, Professor Dr. Mahesh Sharma, sir. Respected Registrar, Dr. R.S. Singh, sir. Respected faculty members, and my dear fellow students. I, Klavya, a proud student of BCom Honors Batch 2025 to 2029 at DSPSR, feel deeply honored to stand before you today. DSPSR has always been committed to fostering leadership, encouraging innovation, and nurturing excellence among students. And today's session is yet another step forward in the ongoing journey of knowledge, growth, and inspiration. To begin this enlightening evening on an auspicious note, let us take part in the symbolic ritual of lighting the virtual lamp. This sacred act signifies the trump of knowledge over ignorance and the illumination of wisdom, positivity, and hope. May this divine flame of learning continue to guide us towards growth, clarity, and purpose. Now I kindly request Arun sir to play the virtual lamp lighting video.
वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा शुभं भवतु कल्याणम् आरोग्यं सुखसम्पदा शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते.
It is my great honor to welcome our distinguished speaker for today, Mr. Shubham Parashar sir, a dynamic professional and the head of customer experience and operations at BhaiFi. Sir began his professional journey with Info Edge Shiksha Study Abroad, where he guided students and families through higher education decisions. This experience built in him a strong foundation of communication, empathy, and structured problem solving, qualities that have continued to define his career. Over the years, Sir transitioned into customer operations and leadership roles, building high performing teams, streamlining workflows, and elevating service delivery standards. At BhaiFi, Sir currently leads the customer experience function end to end, encompassing onboarding, support, implementation, and retention, ensuring that every client interaction reflects efficiency and excellence. Beyond his corporate achievements, Sir is deeply passionate about sharing practical industry insights with students to help them bridge the gap between academic learning and real world experience. A vision that truly aligns with the spirit of DSPSR's Leadership Development Program. On behalf of Delhi School of Professional Studies and Research, I extend a warm and heartfelt welcome to you, Mr. Parashar, sir. We are truly privileged to have you among us today and eagerly look forward to gaining from your valuable experience and wisdom. We are equally delighted to have as our moderator today Ms. Priya Goyal, a dedicated and confident BCom honors student from the batch 2023 to 2026 at DSPSR. Ms. Priya is known for her excellent communication skills, professional approach, and enthusiasm for learning. Her commitment and active participation in academic and leadership activities truly reflect the values of discipline and excellence that DSPSR stands for. On behalf of DSPSR, I warmly welcome you, Ms. Priya Goyal, and we are delighted to have you moderate today's insightful session.
Thank you so much for the warm welcome, Mr. Eklavya. It is our privilege to welcome you, Mr. Shubham Prashasar, sir, to the 151st online interactive session. We are truly honored to have you with us today. I am certain that your insights will make this session not only highly engaging for students but also enriching everyone present here. To make this session more interactive and beneficial for students, I would like to ask Sir some questions focused on student development and career growth and opportunities. Shall I, sir?
Yeah, sure. Before we start, thank you, Clubber, thank you, Priya, thank you everyone for having me. It's a great honor to be here to be able to talk to the people and be able to guide them on how and what should be they're doing in order to achieve something. It's a great pleasure. Glad to be here. Yep, you can start.
Okay, sir. So my first question is, sir, could you start by sharing your journey from being a career guide at InfoEdge to leading customer experiences at BhaiFi?
Okay, so in order to, share my journey, so my journey has been about learning, adapting, and growing, not just jumping from one role to another one. I began my journey at InfoAgents. So it was a part of Shiksha, study abroad. Basically, we used to help having conversations with students and their parents who were, making one of the most emotional decisions of their life. I learned that at my job was not just to give them information. My job was to bring them clarity and confidence in order to take the decision, and because that decision is going to make their career and their life. Okay. And then after that I joined Geo. So I was in the pilot batch for the Geo. So when Geo just launched in India, so there was nothing about the fixed systems. Every other day something was crashing. So systems were getting created every single day. The processes were not there, so we used to create the processes. I learned how to build structure from scratch, how to stay calm and in uncertainty and the chaos, and how to adapt quickly. Next, after that, I worked with EA Sports. I don't know whether much people know about it, but yeah, some people who like to play the games like FIFA, EA Sports, so they must be aware about it. So and there I used to interact with US, UK, rest of the world customers. So international customers expectations were very different from the Indian customers. Okay, so here I was able to find my confidence, my communication skills, being able to get the clarity and the tone. So that really helped me out. And then in that same company, I was able to become a mentor to the new joinees. So we used to get people enrolled and we used to train them how to work the system, how to be able to communicate with the people. Okay, whether they are on call, whether they're on email, whether they're having a face-to-face conversations with those customers. After that, I came to BhaiFi. So where I now lead the customer experience and operations for this company. So it's an end-to-end from onboarding, support, implementation, delivery, customer success, and support. Every step that prepared me for what I have become. So yeah, it was a great journey to be able to get to this position. And if one more thing, if I look back at my journey from Shiksha to Geo to EA Sports and now leading customer experience and operations at BhaiFi, there has been one constant source of support and guidance for me, and that is Mahesh sir. When I was really unsure in my early stage of career, I was trying to understand like what my strengths really are. He was one of the people who helped me see, myself clearly. He never pushed me anywhere in any particular direction. He just asked me like the kind of question that make you think deeply. What kind of work make you feel alive? What are you naturally adding value? What being told? What kind of person do you want to become? In the early stages of my career, I didn't realize it, but these questions shaped the way I look at work and leadership. So yeah, Mahesh sir, just didn't give me a big motivational speech. He simply said growth is not just about knowing everything. Growth is about being willing to learn because others trust you. That's how I, look at my leadership even now. So yeah, it's been a great journey to be able to transition from a place of Geo, City of Shiksha, Geo, EA Sports, and now Bye.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Share your journey with us. Uh, so I would like to ask you, what motivated your transition from the education sector to customer operations and leadership roles?
Mm, when I say, the motivation was never the title. It was growth for me. At each stage, I realized what I, was naturally drawn to. I like to, be able to solve problems, making processes clear, communicating with empathy, helping people feel supported. When I recognize these strengths, the path toward the customer experience and operations leadership became clear. I didn't, just chose the field. The field chose me because it aligned with who I, already was. I like to help people. I like to, be able to solve problems, being able to see that change when you're able to do something. So that, motivated me for my transition across all the roles that I have been in.
Okay, sir. So, how did your early experience at Shiksha, study abroad, shape your understanding of communication and customer empathy?
At Shiksha, I learned that people don't remember what you say. They remember, how you made them feel. At EA Sports, I learned that empathy must come with professional tone, patience, respectful language, being able to study the emotional control of the people that you're talking to. So mentoring, and at that point, mentoring taught me true communication is when your words make the other person stronger. These lessons define how I speak, lead, and take decisions today. These are the things.
Okay, sir. Sir, at BhaiFi, you lead customer experience end to end. And what does a typical day in your role look like?
My day evolves around basically three things. Okay, the people, the process, and the experience. When we talk about people, it's about supporting the team, being able to guide the team, and enabling my team to able to take the decisions even when I'm not in the system. Okay, they should be having all the powers, all the tools in their hands, so they should be able to cater to the customer needs and provide them clarity and solution. Process, ensuring workflows are structured and predictable, so that even if nobody is there, even if things are falling apart, even if they are having too much chaos, they know what process they should be following in order to achieve that customer experience, in order to achieve that position where able to help that customer out, and even at the same time able to make that person feel that they are there for them. Because when you talk to the customer and you're not just able to help them out, you need to let them know and experience that somebody is there, they can understand what they are going through, and able to help them out. Experience is also a very big part, because making sure that a customer feels informed, valued, and supported is really important. Sometimes you're able to help customers out, but many times you are not able to give them just a resolution of, in a very quick second. But at the same time, you need to make them feel or make them know and understand somebody is already there, they're trying their level best in order to get them what they want. So these are the main pillars that I work around. Some days bring challenges, some days bring clarity, but my main role is to stay, being able to stay the steady center, so that the team feels safe and confident and aligned. So even if I'm in the system, even if I'm not in the system, they should be having everything in order to make everything you know going and flowing in a very simpler way, that we are able to help the customer out and able to give the best customer experience that is there. So
Okay, sir.
these are the three things.
Okay, sir. So, what are some of the most important qualities a leader in customer experience should possess?
I must say, so these are the things that I have learned after reading too many books. When I was transitioning, when I transitioned, my CEO gave me a couple of books to read about how to become a great manager, being able to help the customer experience and everything. So there are certain things that was very much clearly mentioned and that I try to do. One is being able to stay calm under pressure. That is really important. Sometimes people fall apart, the processes fall apart, but if you are calm, you would be able to get the work done. Being able to communicate very much clearly, whether it's a yes, whether it's a no. Sometimes you need to say yes, sometimes you are not able to get a solution, but you need to be very much clear. There should be no doubt when you are talking to the someone. Okay. And being able to replicate and show empathy. Empathy is really important, because every other day something is happening. Okay. Sympathy you can't give, but you need to empathize with the customer. But at the same time, you should not be just empathizing and not doing or able to get the work done. So being empathetic but firm. Stay consistent in behavior. And behavior should not be just about changing every day or just doing everything. You need to stay very much consistent in the behavior, on how you are talking to the people, how people are going to perceive you. So that's really important. And the main thing is ownership. You need to very much own what you are doing end to end. You can't just say it's not my thing, I don't know. If you're doing something, if you have been empowered to do something, you should be able to take the ownership. Whether that something happens, the way that you wanted to or not, that does not matter. But you should be able to take that ownership. You should be able to say, yeah, this is my responsibility. I'm going to own it end to end and able to do it. So yeah, and I feel like leadership is not just giving instructions to anybody. Because if it was about leading, giving instructions, I think a computer would have been a great leader. But it is about being someone your team can really, really rely upon emotionally and operationally. So these are the things that I that have made me what I am, and to get me to this position.
Okay, sir. So, how do you define customer experience in today's fast changing digital business environment?
For me, customer experience is the emotional memory of a customer carries, interacting with your brand. It's not the product, it's not the price, it's not the feeling. It's the emotional memory. So there was a company, so this stayed with me for a very long time. So there was this company, if you have guys heard about North Face. So there was this person who was hiking in the mountains, and her jacket was, she purchased a jacket that was, waterproof. However, I think something happened, or it was not stitched properly, something like that. She made a video and posted it, and the North Face social media team got it to see, to get to them, and they got a North Face jacket delivered to that person while he was on track, while she was on track. She was a lady. So it was not just about cost for them. It was about giving the experience, to be able to be in a position where you're able to deliver that experience, because that memory would be going to stay with her, and she would be going to tell the people about it. Because when you have a very bad experience, you tell everybody, and when you have a great experience, you boast about it, that I had a very great experience. Somebody might not going to use that thing, or maybe not going to buy that thing, but the experience, that memory stays in your head, and every time somebody is going to bring a good experience or good memory, they are always going to talk about it. So for me, customer experience is that emotional memory that a person gets from your brand. That's it.
Okay, sir. So, could you share an example of a challenge you faced in customer operations and how you overcome it?
So there was, I feel like there was a lot of challenges. So it's a cybersecurity company. It's a SaaS-based startup. It's a great company. We are able to help many customers out. But if I talk about the challenges, when I joined BhaiFi, my current organization, onboarding expectations were very unclear. Like every customer imagined a different process differently. Okay, because since we are catering to many different companies, many different, sometimes it's about co-working, sometimes it's about enterprises, and even in enterprises we have health tech, the ed tech is there, SaaS business, IT tech companies. So the onboarding expectations were very much unclear to everybody, and the processes were not there. So leading to that confusion and dissatisfaction was the most critical challenge that I think that I faced at that time. And what I did at that time, I think I introduced some process. Basically, it was a three-step process. I started an onboarding journey. Like as soon as a deal gets closed and we get the handover done from the sales team, okay, our onboarding journey should be getting started. On the first day, the very first call was going to be about the expectations of what are the expectations of us in order to provide them the great experience or the great security that they want from us, and what are their expectations, what all things that they are expecting from us. Okay. And it was a very, and the third thing was very clear, like all the written clear communication handover between the sales team to the onboarding team to the support team, so that everybody knows what we need to deliver. Because sometimes what happen in sales, people give over expectation. They tell them that we are going to give you the moon, but in reality it was not just moon, there are many other things. Okay. So the clear understanding of the product that we are giving or this getting sold to, so that sales team to the onboarding team, keep what all things we have told them, what all things we need to achieve, and then from onboarding to the support team, so that the support team knows what all has been sold, what all has been implemented, and what all we need to provide them support on every other day. Because this helped us getting an NPS. The net promoter survey got skyrocketed. People were talking about it. The getting clarity from the very first day was amazing. So this helped us with getting, the trust was improved, not just between the sales and the support people, but between the company and the customer. Escalations were reduced because on the very first day we were able to set that expectation, set give them the clarity. The escalations were removed in that time, and the confidence increased in the product when they got to know that we have clear paths, we have clear steps in the place. So the confidence improved, so that they knew that they are not just getting a vendor or a company in place, they're getting a partner, a strategic partner who is going to help them out in order to achieve the customer outcome that they want. So these are the things I would say.
Okay, sir. So, what strategies do you use to ensure seamless onboarding and retention of customers at BhaiFi?
Um, I think the strategies, I would not say strategies, but some things that I learned with my certifications or being able to talk to the community that we have of customer success people. It was preparing the customer mentally, not just technically. Okay. When you say 1 plus 1, you are not just telling the customer that, 1 plus 1 is going to be 2. You need to prepare them mentally as well. Like, what is the logic behind it? Communicate very progressively at every stage. You need to be able to communicate that every time you need to tell the customer what's happening, when it's going to happen, and how we are going to do it. Deliver small success milestones early. As soon as the onboarding is completed, you need to let them know, you need to make them feel that they have, got something which is going to help them out. And you need to celebrate every small milestones of the customer success in place. And always maintain what do you say, follow-ups. For example, there was something that I need to get done with you. Okay. But I thought that I've already sent you an email, or I have already texted you or called you once. It's not my responsibility to get in touch with you. But that's wrong. You need to stay, keep in constant touch, keep following with the customer, because it's not just about them, it's about you as well. So even if you missed out, it's me who is in place, because you have purchased, got in contract with me to be able to get you that milestone. So that is really important. Communicating is the main pillar of everything. If you're able to communicate clearly, everything is going to be, very much smooth for you and seamless for you. So being able to communicate properly on onboarding is very much important. So these are the things.
Okay, sir. So, how do you measure customer satisfaction and translate feedback into actionable improvements?
So for support, we basically follow a CSAT score, customer satisfaction scores, and anything less than 85%, 87% gets a question asked. We send the customer survey as soon as a ticket gets closed, and a person is able to give the CSAT score, whether the conversation, whether the information that was provided was good or not. If it was good, we really celebrate it. If it was not good, we take it as a feedback, get in touch with the customer and see what happened, whether it was something about the behavior of the person who was representing us, or was it a, what do you say, a feature feedback. Okay, whether it was something about
Right.
the way the follow-ups were done or anything. So we take the CSAT surveys. That's for the support team. And then we do, sometimes I get in on a call feedback. So we have certain, so we keep the customers in 4 different categories: high potential, high paying; less potential, less paying; high potential and less paying; or less potential and high paying. So whoever is the high potential and high paying customers, I try to stay in touch with them. I have a certain customer success tools in place with the AI. We're able to see these are the people that need to connect with in some time, like say 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. For example, if any customer is raising too many requests, the ticket number is going high, I get in touch with the customer and see, like, exactly what's happening. Is there any gap between the feature that they wanted or expected from us, or what's going on, what is the reason of high tickets? Then the support patterns, whether how they are talking to the people, how many call logs they're calling, and getting in touch with the agents and asking about a particular feedback or something happening, not happening with the dev team and everything, and the usage behavior. So whenever a SaaS product gets sold, there is a usage behavior, like when somebody logs into your dashboard, where they are going, which feature they're using. So as of right now, the software that we're using is post-op. There I can see which was the first option they clicked upon, and then they went to which option, then they went to which option. So these four things, user behavior is very important. But just measuring all of these is not enough. We need to fix the root, the exactly what's happening, why it is happening, how we can improve it, so that we can keep the escalations always on the lower side, so the retention is there, so that we are not chasing customers every day. People are already staying with us. So feedback becomes trust only when it becomes visible improvement. So we don't just take feedback, we take an action on it, and we make sure to tell the customer about it. Upon your feedback about this, let's say particular agent, particular feature, we were able to do these things, and from the future in future we are going to make sure that this doesn't happen again, or we have improved that particular feature. So these are the things that help out.
Okay, sir. So, in your view, what is the difference between good customer service and a great customer experience?
So, good service is about fixing the problems. It's about being reactive. Okay, once something happens, you get in touch with the customer service and they're, helping you out. But the great experience prevents the problems. If you want to provide a great experience, you need to be very much proactive. Before something went wrong, you are able to anticipate it and help that customer out with that particular problem. So great experience for me is about designing proactively, staying proactive and able to anticipate what could go wrong and be able to have certain proper backups in place. So recently what happened, one of our AWS servers, so we recently had a very big outage. I think it happened around the world. There was a AWS outage. So we stayed very much proactive about it. We already had a different server host in a very different place. So that really helped us out, because if we only had our server with AWS, we would be, giving a good service about telling the customer, that we are trying to help you out. But we stayed proactive. We didn't just relied upon one particular server. We had three different server plays in three different places. So staying proactive is very much important in order to provide a great experience. That's my take on it.
Okay, sir. So, how do you balance automation and human interaction in maintaining a high quality customer experience?
Mm, So every other day you can see, or everybody can see, like the AI, different tools are coming up, different companies are coming up and saying, AI is there, AI is there. But AI is just about giving you the
Yes,
tools in place, the automation. It gives you speed. For example, you want to write an email, let's say, to a particular customer. So you can't just rely upon the AI to write that, but you need to provide all the information and it would write that email. So AI is just an automation to give you speed. Human gives you care. Okay. We used automation to free our time so that we can focus upon much more important thing, because humans can focus on connection and trust. For example, let's say you had a certain problem with your product that you received, or maybe the food that you have received from Zomato, and you call on what you say Zomato helpline. And if AI is there, you would not be able to understand or tell you the feelings that you have. For example, you were really hungry and you ordered something, it was not good. You would always want to have a conversation with a human. It's only then you would be able to vent out and express your emotions. You can express your emotions to AI. AI would not be able to understand it. So human interaction is really important. And only through human interaction we would be able to understand the customer mentality and able to provide them clarity. Because nobody just want to have a conversation with AI. AI only gives you speed. It only helps you out, but it's not the only thing. Every other day you see support people are getting replaced with AI, the automated agent in place. Everything is coming, but people need to understand, and I think we all need to understand that AI is just going to tell you the answers that you have already feeded them. They are not going to think on their feet and tell you or understand your emotions. So human interaction is the much more important thing than just having an AI. AI is just a tool for you. Human interaction is much more important. That's what I feel.
Okay, sir. So, what role does data play in decision making for customer experience and operations?
So data gives you very much clarity. So when you have a data, you are not just going to guess. You have the numbers in place. You know how many people rated you good, how many people rated you bad. What was the friction point? What was the risk signals? Data makes customer experience very much intentional, not just accidental. Basically, that's the word. Because in customer experience, or in order to provide that great customer experience that everybody wants to have, you need to have certain data. So data is really really important. You should be having your CSAT in place, should be having your NPS survey in place. You should be knowing how much revenue this particular customer is bringing, what is the retention of that particular customer, what is my ARR, what is my MRR. So data is really really important in order to provide the great experience, I would say.
Okay, sir. So, how do you train and motivate your team to deliver consistent and empathetic customer support?
I think the main thing that I received from my co-founders since I worked directly with them, there was the ownership. So when I joined this company, they gave me complete ownership on my department. They were very much clear. They told me what they wanted, and they said, just own this complete function and take the best out of it. Give us the best experience, give us the best support, get us the best revenue in place. So I think the ownership, not just instructions. Okay, you should only be telling what your goal is. But when you give somebody the ownership to able to own the whole segment, it gets you the best motivation in place. It gives you the clarity, I would say. The second thing would be support. For example, somebody's CSAT is not improving. Okay, you should be able to support that customer or the agent in order to, he's able to, what do you say, improve the work that he's doing. You should not just be adding the pressure over it. You should be telling him, what do you need from me in order to achieve the OKRs or the KRAs that are in place. Okay. And then third would be, what do you say, clarity. Like, for example, I would say this Vishal, my one of my engineer's name is Vishal. I only tell them, him and everybody in my team, that I want this result. My CSAT survey or the NPS survey is this much. Okay. I want it to go from 82 to 87 by month end. Okay. What do you need from me? You tell me, and I will help you out. I will tell each of them what are their current scores are and what is the expectations of mine with them. I give them clarity. I get very much vocal about it. Like, this is what I want from you. This is what I need from you. What do you need from me? And these are the three things that I train and motivate my team upon. Because these were the things, that I was trained upon, that I have learned. So these are the things I stay consistent about with my team.
Okay, sir. So, you mentioned clarity and ownership as core principles.
Yeah.
So, how do you instill these values within your teams?
So I tell them what I have envisioned or what customer has envisioned as the success. So when somebody uh, buys something, when somebody gets in contact with somebody, they have a certain picture in mind. Like, for them, what success looks like. For example, you enrolled in IIM or IIT. Your end goal is able to work, being able to work in a place, in an MNC, whether it's a big four. So you need to tell them what success looks like for you. Then you tell them who is accountable for all these things. For example, I have given you some work. I would be holding you accountable. Like, you would be answerable and accountable for it. You need to own it. Okay. And the third thing would be what to do if something went wrong. For example, I have given you all the tools that you need. I have given you every work. I have given you all the responsibility, the accountability, and the ownership. But at the same point, you should not be feeling alone. Okay, you should always know that there's somebody in the backend who is able to help you out and who you should be contacting when something goes wrong. So these are the three things that I, tell my team to bring clarity and ownership in the team. These are things.
Okay, sir. So could you tell us about a time when a small operational change made a big impact on customer satisfaction?
I still think that was the handover call that we started having between the sales onboarding and the support team, because that really helped us out. That really helped everybody in the team, like the onboarding team, the support team, the after support team, and the sales team. So having that onboarding call with a first with the sales team, like what you have, told them about the product, what you have demoed them about the product, what you have promised that they are going to achieve, to the onboarding to the support team, and then giving that clarity to the customer, because a small clarity brings a very big impact. For example, let's say I tell you that these are the things that we are going to achieve. However, this is does would not be able to get done before 28th. So I've given you a clarity. It's a very small clarity that this would not be able to get done before 28th, but it gives you a very big impact. Somebody is very much transparent with you. So I think the onboarding call was still the biggest operation challenge that I had faced, and it had a major impact. I still have conversations with the customer, and they still tell me like things were really, haphazard. The things were really in chaos before we started having onboarding calls. So we have different ISPs, we have different MSPs, we have different, customers in different countries and states and everything. So that onboarding call was the biggest thing that we have, being able to achieve in this place, that I would say.
Okay, sir. Sir, how important is communication in managing both internal teams and external teams?
Communication is the most important pillar. Like for example, if you're able to communicate properly or understand what needs to be said, how it needs to be said, that brings confidence and not just doubt. Because if you are able to communicate properly, you're able to remove the confusion and the doubts in place. So communication is really important, and I feel like it's not just important in customer experience or operations. Communication is important everywhere. When you're having a conversation with your family, with your pair, with your colleagues, with your faculty, everybody, communication is the most important thing to have. So yeah, that's the most important thing for me.
Yes, sir. So, what are some of the most common mistake companies make when managing customer experience?
So so I had a conversation about this recently with a tech CEO. So he was telling me about a great product that they have, and if the great team, what great AR or the annual recurring revenue is the word that they are able to achieve. So I asked him about the similar thing, similar topic we were having conversation, and he said he was on a escalation call with a customer, something like that. So the main thing that the mistake or the feedback that he had received upon were the over promising by the sales team. During sales, when somebody is selling something to someone, they would say everything and anything in order to make the sale. So I'm not, saying anything bad about this salesperson or the salespeople, because everybody, when they become senior, everybody is into sales. Okay, everybody is going to be a sales guy, sales leader when they come to a leadership position. When you get senior enough, you get into a sales role. However, over promising during sales, that is the common mistake, I would say. Slower or unclear communication. If you are not following up properly, if you're not telling the customer or the agents or the onboarding or the support team about the expectations, about the things that they need to do or achieve. Lack of documentation, because for example, if somebody said something to you over the call and you did something about it, but there was no written communication about it, or there was no the process was just a conversation between you and me. So we had an understanding. Okay, once a sales deal would close, I would give you this, but there is no proper documentation about it. And if somebody new onboards, and he would come and say what I should be doing and what I should not be doing, and there's no proper documentation about it. That's a very common mistake every other day. And I think thinking that customer support or the customer experience a cost center instead of a growth engine, because people need to understand that customer support is the reason that some people are staying with you. It's not just a cost center. They should be looking at it as a growth revenue, because let's say a product gets sold, but if you're not able to deliver that support of that product, nobody is going to stay with you, because everybody needs support. You can't think or understand that everybody who's using a product is going to be an Einstein. So thinking of support, customer experience and support as a cost center is also a mistake. It's a growth engine. If you have a really good support, even if your product is bad, the people are going to stay, because they know somebody is there in the back end to help me out. So these are the four things that I would say is a common mistake that I have seen a lot of companies and people making every other day in their life.
Okay, sir. So, how do you approach conflict resolution, especially when dealing with dissatisfied or frustrated customers?
Mm, I would say listening to them. See, listening to them is really important. You let the customer vent out their heart. Let them speak. Don't interrupt in between. Let them say what they want to say, however they want to say. However, when I say however, it doesn't mean you let them abuse yourself or something like that. But you let them vent out. You let them vent, because that is really important. They have faced that issue. They have a they had a pain that they were thinking of getting resolved with you, but they are still in that pain. So listen to them. Just listen to that person. And once, while you are listening, keep acknowledging their emotions. Okay, you can't just be a bot and say yes, 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 yes. You can't, you should not be just saying that. You should be acknowledging their emotions, from where they're coming from, what pain they had faced, what happened with them, or something like that. And then once they have their vent out their heart, to explain them very much honestly, like why did this happen, what could have been done in order to not let it happen, or avoid it. And tell them honestly. We be very much honest about it. Everybody, some people would say you should be hiding your mistakes, but I would say you should not be hiding your mistake. You should be explaining them honestly, like what went wrong, and what we are or you are going to do in future in order to avoid the same thing happening in the future, and give them a clear next step. What would going to be the next timeline? So some feature, let's say a feature got broken, the code broke and everything went down. At the same time, you should be giving them, we understand where you're coming from. I completely acknowledge it. I completely understand it. If I would have been in your shoes, I would have been the same frustration. I would have, totally understand from where you're coming from. This thing would happen. However, in order to make sure this doesn't happen in future, we are going to do this, this, and this, and give them timeline and follow that timeline. For example, let's say I have told you that Priya, I'm going to make sure that this work gets done on 29th. Once 29th comes, the customer should not be coming to you and asking you whether this work got done or not. You should be telling the customer about it proactively.
Yes, sir.
That it's 29th, I promised you this, I had to deliver you this, and I'm delivering you this on that date. So these are four things and five things that I would say. I try to tell my team, how to handle a dissatisfied customer, whether it's an Indian one, whether it's a UK, US, rest of the world customer. These are the three things that you should be following, I would say.
Okay, sir. So, how do you align operations with the company's larger vision and customer expectations?
We check regularly. Like, does our system support the experience that we want to deliver? If not, we change the system, not just the promise. Okay, for example, I want this experience that I want. For example, when we talk about experience, I always keep something in my mind, like this is something that if I would have been in their shoes, this is something that I would have, wanted to have, wanted to feel. So we try to instill that same thing when we are delivering to the customers. And if something does not align with the company's vision, we try to change it. Not just the promise. The promise is already there. We already know our goal. And we want to deliver this. We want to deliver this by this date. We keep on changing how in order to stay aligned with the customers, I would say.
Yeah. So, how do you ensure that the system and processes you build are simple yet scalable?
The processes need to be very much simpler. Like there should only be a couple of steps for you to follow. If you are going to put too many instructions in it, it would fail at scale. When we talk about scale, it should be repeatable. It should be scalable. The processes need to be like that only. It should be very much clear. Like you need to do this, do this, do this, do this. That is it. So that it can be very much scalable, very much simpler, and repeatable. A good process is only something which can be repeated and every other day by everybody, whether it's a new joinee, whether it's a veteran, whether it's somebody who has been working for 8 years, 9 years, 2 months, 6 months. It should be repeatable. It should be very much clear. And because repeatable structures bring clarity, and that is how we ensure that systems are simple and yet scalable. It needs to be very much clear. That's what I say.
Okay, sir. So, in today's world of AI and automation, how can businesses maintain the human touch in customer services?
I would say AI can only answer your queries. For example, you want to ask where my order is. It would track and tell you that your order is, let's say, in Delhi or in Gurgaon. Only humans can reassure and connect with you. For example, you type like where my order is, it would say it's in Gurgaon. However, you wanted that product delivered to you. So at that moment, you need a customer to contact the customer and say like, I totally understand that you wanted it delivered by this date. Okay, however, it's not there. We would try to get in touch with the team that we have in place and try to get it delivered as soon as possible. So that human interaction is the most important thing. AI is going to bring you speed. AI is going to give you the answer, but how you deliver that answer, AI doesn't know the emotions. Okay, so that emotion, that human interaction is the most important thing. So that can't be replaced with the AI. AI is only give you the information that he or she has. It's not going to connect with the customer. It has become human touch is, I would say, it's not going away. Human touch would always be there. It is just becoming a differentiator between a person that I'm talking to and to the person I want to talk to. So these are things I would say.
Okay, sir. So, how do you stay updated with new trends and technology in customer operation?
I would say, observing the customer behavior, like how many tickets they are logging in, how many times they are calling, how many meetings they are attending, how many feedbacks and surveys they are filling up, how many webinars they are attending with us, and then learning from the failures. For example, we tried to build a great feature, however, it didn't quite, got adopted by the customers. So we learned from it, listening to my team. Since my team is the customer facing, they talk to customers every other day, every single day. They are on a call, they are on a meeting, they are having conversations with them. So learning to my team so that they know exactly what's happening on the ground level. Okay, staying curious, being able to jump upon and going within the deep all the queries that you have received through email, going through them and just reading them. What question was asked by the customer? What answer was given by my team? And staying curious about it. And then I would say also reflecting on the guidance that that I have received from mentors like Mahesh sir. These are the things. Learning is ongoing. You need to keep on learning and reading every other day. So these are the things I would say help me
Okay,
out.
sir. Okay, sir. So, could you share a few leadership lessons you have learned from managing diverse team over the years?
I think the best thing is don't micromanage. If you have given a certain responsibility or a certain work to somebody, don't micromanage them. Let them work out, let them win, let them fail, let it be their achievement, whether it's a good thing, whether it's a bad thing. Don't micromanage everything. So that I would think that's the main leadership lesson. Um, Staying grounded when things are good. We had a really great quarter, and we started spending, without thinking much. So that is not correct. Staying grounded when things are really good is really important. Take responsibility before taking credit. So if even if something fails, or something was lacking from my team, I try to take responsibility first instead of taking a credit. Whenever something good happens, I try to say, tell my founders, like, this thing was achieved by this member of my team. Before I would, just say like it's his problem, he did this or he did that. Whenever you are telling somebody about the, something bad that happened, you should always be saying my team. When you are telling them about the good thing, you should always be giving that particular person the credit. If this particular person has achieved, achieved this. So taking responsibility before credit, that is a leadership lesson that I've learned in my journey, because that was, happened with me. I once made a very big blunder, and before something could happen to me, before my head could reach me out, my TL went to that manager and told them, this happened with my team. So that's what I've, learned in my journey. So these are the things I would say.
Okay, sir. So, what's your approach to handling high pressure situation where quick decisions are required?
Mm, I would simply say, like, what matters now? What is the most critical thing? What is the P0? The priority level that I have set, like there in, we have four different priority levels set, and we have it documented, like what's the P1, the priority one, priority two, priority three, P, priority four. And then there is priority zero. Like, this is the most critical one. It could be maybe because something is not working correctly, or maybe that customer is really important for me, that logo is particularly very important for me. So what matters now, what matters later, what can be done later, what is not affecting that many user, that much of a big client. So, and who doesn't matter at all. So these are the things I would say. Clarity is the cure for pressure. Being able to have that much clarity in your mind, like what is the most important thing for me to do or achieve right now, that I would say. These are things that help me out in order to, handle the high pressure situations that people face every other day.
Yes, sir. So, how do you foster collaboration between departments like sales, operations, and customer support?
I would say because we have a very, we share outcomes. We don't just share the isolated KPIs. Like everybody is going to have the key performance incentives and areas and everything. We have OKR, like objective rules. Like this is the outcome that we want to achieve. We don't put, certain numbers in place that, you need to achieve 87% of CSAT, or you need to achieve 10 million ARR or 10 million ARR or 1 million ARR. We tell them the outcome. Like this is the shared outcome that we have. And because I would say when the goal is collective, the effort becomes collective as well. When you have a common goal in place, everybody would be working together in order to achieve it. So we create shared outcomes. That's how we foster collaboration across all our teams that we have in place, I would say.
Yes, sir. So, how do you view the relationship between employee experience and customer experience?
Um, I would say your customer would always feel what your team is feeling. If your team is respected, supported, and valued, customers feel cared for. Okay, if your team is stressed, customers feel ignored. Customer experience, what do you say? For me, starts from how you treat your team. If I'm treating my team with respect, with very much clarity on what I want to achieve, they are going to respect the customer, because only when you are respected, when you are happy, you are going to, you know cater the other person happy. For example, let's say your mood is not good today. Okay, you would not be able to help anybody you are going to talk to. You would be having that particular, sad emotion in the back of your mind. So make sure that your team is happy, they're confident in what they're answering. So everything is dependent upon how you are treating your team. If you are treat your team good, they are always going to treat that customer with the best customer experience that you want. So these are the things I would say.
Yes, sir. So you also share industry learning with students. What key advice do you often give to young professionals?
I would say don't chase titles, big titles or salaries. Okay, chase real skills. Skills is the most important thing. And consistency, being able to stay consistent, even if you are in a single place, even if you are working in a particular category or something. Okay, don't chase big titles, job titles, they would come automatically to you. If you have the skills and you are consistent, you would get it. Your first job will not define your life. Your attitude and habit of learning would define your life. So I would say chase real skills and stay consistent about it. Don't just start everything and anything. Okay. Choose one skill and go about it. Learn it from one end to end to end. Learn it completely. And then only then move on to something other. So these are the things I would say. These are the advice that I want to give. Because these are I think that's the same advice that I have received from my mentor Mahesh. So these are the things that I would say is required.
Okay, sir. So what do you think? What skills should students or fresh graduates develop to succeed in customer operation or leadership roles?
Um, Communication, most important thing, communication. Being empathetic, okay. Confidence. When you're talking to somebody, confidence can be heard whether you're on a call, whether you're on a face-to-face meeting. Confidence is really important. Problem solving mindset, I would say, and taking ownership without being, without being waiting to be told. You should be taking the ownership from the start without telling that, this is your responsibility. These are the things that skills everybody, not just the fresh graduates for CX and leadership roles, everybody should be having for everything. These are the things that I would say.
Okay, sir. So my last question is, what personal values or philosophies guide your approach to work and leadership?
Clarity, consistency, I would say, um, ownership, responsibility, and staying grounded. But yeah, these are the things that I would say. But there's one more thing, gratitude. So we perform heartful meditation. It helps you understand what gratitude is. Okay, so gratitude towards the people who helped you rise. Okay, gratitude towards the people who helped you rise is the very very much important. You should always be grateful and having that feeling of gratitude in the back of your mind. And for me, that person has been Mahesh though. Okay, he didn't just mentor me professionally. He helped me see who I could become. He taught me that growth is not about knowing everything that I told in starting. It's about willingness to learn when others trust you. So no, every step that I take carries that teaching forward maybe. So these are the things that I would say.
Actually, forum is open for all. Anyone can ask the question. Unmute once again yourself. All of you unmute once again. Shubham sir, you too. Okay, okay, okay. Any participants wants to ask any question?
Yes, sir, I want to ask a question.
Okay, Eklavya.
Sir, what innovations do you think will come in the specific sector in the next 2 to 3 years?
So innovation is something new. So like innovation is something every other day some a new startup is coming up with something, saying that we have AI, but not everything in innovation. I would say it would be about cybersecurity. So that's the reason I chose BhaiFi. Because when you have too many agents or people working towards one thing, the most important thing becomes cybersecurity. So the new innovation would be in India would be going to be about cybersecurity, like how you can make sure that your servers, your product, your features, your PII, personal identification importance going to stay. So recently also there was a certain guidelines, okay, that was posted by government of India. So these are the things that I would say is going to come at an innovation in the common world.
Thank you, sir. Sir, also, what skill set do you look for when you select people for your core team?
So when I selected people in my core team, so it was about was a mix of two things: the technical skills that was required in order to do the work. However, the most important thing for me was how a person is able to communicate. For example, you know that you are going to get this work done by clicking this button. But how you are going to tell that particular customer who doesn't know a single word about technology? So that's a game changer. How you are able to communicate and empathize with that customer was the main skill that I, you know, tried to find out in my team, and I was able to do it and created a great team that I have in the books. So these are the two things that I would say.
Thank you, sir.
Shubham, I want to ask you something.
So,
You have elaborated so many things and you have mentored our students indirectly today. Being in the company as an operations head, actually, you're working with some IT company, and being a part of some IT company, I just want to know one thing. If you can suggest our students, actually, we are having BBA, BCA, and BCom honors students, right? If you can suggest them what skills are required for each one of them?
I'm sorry, skills are required for?
For each one of them, I mean for BBA, BCA, and BCom honors students.
So I think main skill for each of them would be having the best communication skills that are in place. How to conduct themselves. Able to, having a problem solving mindset. Don't just go about using Instagram, all the time and having brain rot knowledge. Go read as much as you can. Take start taking responsibility as early in your life with your studies, with your assignments, with your projects, with your results and everything. And yeah, these are the things that I would say everybody in, whether it's in BBA, BCA, would be, need to have. So there are multiple certifications there that people can do. Every other day people are learning how to code. So BCA people can learn a lot about how to code and how to create the features. There are many AIs or the tools that have come up, where you can just type or give the prompt and you can just create the whole list of the codes, from where they can just create the whole tool, whole product, whole SaaS company with that. So these are the things that I would say would go best for each of them.
That means if I talk about all these things, you cannot be a job ready person if you just go with the plain graduation.
Yes,
You need to learn a lot of things, a lot of new skills from the market, right?
yes, yes.
Thank you so much, Shubham. Over to the anchor.
Yeah.
We are truly grateful for the presence of our distinguished speaker, Mr. Shubham Parashar, sir. Your inspiring journey from shaping student success stories at Info Edge to learning customer experience at BhaiFi beautifully illustrates the importance of empathy, clarity, and purpose driven leadership in today's professional world. Your insights on operational excellence, structured problem solving, and customer centric growth have deeply enriched our understanding and will undoubtedly inspire all of us to think strategically and act with ownership. On behalf of Delhi School of Professional Studies and Research, I sincerely thank you, sir, for taking out time from your busy schedule to share your knowledge and experience with us. My heartfelt thanks also go to Mrs. Priya Goyal for moderating the session so gracefully and to all our respected dignitaries, faculty members, and dear students for their continued participation and enthusiasm. Thank you all and have a wonderful and inspiring evening ahead.
Glad and thank you so much for inviting me. It was a great